Thinking of what we may need to repent of when it comes to racial reconciliation is a deeply personal question. It needs to be handled carefully and thoughtfully because too often we paint with a broad brush that just isn't helpful. But at the same time, we need to acknowledge that the reason that there's not reconciliation is because of some kind of sin issue or issues that kind of get into the mix. And sometimes it's hard to see those. So you can think of, at kind of the lowest common denominator, just a willful ignorance, maybe because of either where we grew up or what my experience has been or just who I knew. I just didn't know. And in some cases, you didn't know because it wasn't anyone's fault. In some cases, it's been true in my life, I don't want to know. Another thing might be the issue of pride. I come from Western Michigan and a Dutch heritage, and growing up in that environment, I'm thankful for that historical background. But along with that, there's a historical narrative. And it's easy to think that my historical narrative is the only historical narrative. And sort of a pride in where you've come from or a pride in what you've been told can actually create a barrier to entering into the conversation. You could also think of just the issue of prejudice, of painting too broadly people from different ethnicities. All of these people are like that. We take our limited experience and we project in a way that the scriptures talks about as being partial and making predetermined judgments about people based upon how they look or what their background is or what our experience has been with those kinds of people. I think we also have to be honest that some need to repent of just straight up racism, where in their heart they believe that their particular people are superior in their intellect, in their actions, in how they think, and there's just this deep-seated level of quiet but real superiority. And that's been true throughout the history of the world. That isn't something that's new in our day and age. Another issue might be to think and to repent about a lack of action. It's easy to look at racism or racial prejudice when we hear it, to not want to go there and to either confront it or to do something about it. It's easier just to give it a pass. And in some cases, we need to repent of not doing enough to speak up or to say that isn't right, or asking a question of a minority brother and sister, how are you processing this and how are you doing? So a lack of taking action can also be something that we need to repent of. So when you think about that, there's a lot of things for us to consider. And I think it's helpful for us to weigh, of these issues, if any, which of these do I need to really search my heart and perhaps repent of? Because racism and a lack of racial reconciliation is in our society and culture because of the presence of sin. And wherever sin gets in, it has long-lasting effects on how we think and who we are. And I think it's important for us to think through, to what extent can I help to rid even the smallest parts of this out of my life for the glory of God?